Good evening, everyone. Welcome to closing comments here for July 13th. Let's jump right into our charts and see what happened in these markets today. First up, we got our August live cattle on the board. We did see a fairly uneventful day here for this live cattle market. Prices just hanging steady right around Friday's range. We did see a brief rally up there towards 236.5 before settling back here, finishing the day basically unchanged just off of Friday's closing price. This market is hanging steady here in the bottom end of this range we've been in here over the last couple months. Range-bound conditions continue, so we expect to see the bulls offer up some more support here in the mid 230s. Look for them to see some more tight daily ranges here and try and get some bids back above these prior day highs, and try and see this market get a rally back up through the 240s. 234 to 233 continues to be the levels to watch here. Any sort of breakdowns below this area and daily closes on heavy volume down here below 233 will signal some more selling pressure. So in the event of that, I encourage everyone to get defensive, raise more cash. But at the moment, we are still anticipating these range-bound conditions to hold. Look for the buyers to try and muster up some more support here and start pushing this market back up through the 240s. But just be cautious here, as we do have some good lines to trade around between 33 and 34 here. Manage your risk down here near this area, and we should see this market make a decision here soon. Next up, we had our August feeders on the board. We did see this market rallying up there towards retesting Friday's high of the day, coming in at 358.5. This market did see a little bit of a pushback into the close, though, selling back down here towards Friday's closing. The closing price basically unchanged once again here in this market as well. We expect to see more support here in the 350s. Look for the bulls to continue to offer up some support here, trying to get a little bit of buying pressure going. This market gets some bids back here above 358 to 360. We should see a nice smooth sailing back up there towards 370. Be cautious down here below 350 to 352. Any sort of breakdowns below last week's low could signal some more selling pressure and see us retest the 340s there. So be cautious, manage your risk around last week's low, and we should see these bulls try and gather up some more support here and push this thing back up here towards these range highs. Just make sure to defend yourself here down below 352. Next up, December corn futures on the board. Last night, Sunday night opening, getting that gap higher above our prior week's high. We did see this market opening up there around 466, 67. A little bit of a rally up there towards 470, but just not able to get that going. Also seeing this market finishing back here off of those highs, closing the day right around 63, and we are continuing to see a little bit of selling pressure here so far in the evening session as well. Corn futures opening up here and already losing some ground, pushing back down into the 450s. Not really expecting a whole lot of upside for this corn market. We wouldn't be surprised to see some choppy action here around these averages. This corn market seems to be pretty comfortable here right around $4.50 like we've seen over the last year. Not really anticipating any breakouts or any major character changes here. Look for this corn market to stay sticky here around $4.50. Next up, crude prices continuing to get a little bit of a bid going here. We did see yesterday opening up and seeing a nice strong push up here above our last week's high at 76. As we discussed in our Market Watch video, any bids above 76 should see this market rallying up here into the low 80s, try and test some of this overhead supply. We still got plenty of sellers in this market. Look for more resistance up here as we push up here into the low 80s. Sellers should try and take this market back under control here. Just getting a little bit of a bounce off these oversold conditions here recently, so look for those sellers to step back into this market and try and drive this thing back down here towards $70 and potentially into the 60s. This market is a little bit jumpy given some of the news we got going on, so just continue to watch that, manage your risk closely, but we should see the selling pressure kick back in here soon and keep driving these crude prices back down towards $70 to $60. And next up, our equity markets all losing some ground here today. S&P and the NASDAQ giving back most of Friday's gains. The NASDAQ was the weakest of the bunch here today. The Dow finishing back here just inside of Friday's range and continuing to see a little bit of selling pressure here so far across these indexes in the evening session tonight. Still seeing pretty mixed results here across the board in these mega cap names. We are seeing some constructive action here in some of these guys, but still a pretty mixed bag, which leads me to believe these indexes should stay pretty choppy and continue to consolidate here around the mid 7,000s on the S&P. We should see the NASDAQ continue to hang around right around 30,000. Look for some nice swings both directions here. We should just see some more choppy action like we've seen over the last 2 months or so. All of these indexes digesting this recent markup we had through the months of April through May, and seeing this thing just kind of hanging out up here near these all-time highs is a good sign of health. This market accepting these higher prices and just being pretty comfortable in the area. Once these mega cap names in that tech sector are able to gather up some more buyers and see some more constructive bases, we should see this uptrend kick back off and continue to push these markets back to new all-time highs. We still have some pretty good spots to be putting money to work, so keep things working in the right areas. Still some good sectors and areas. Just gonna have to be a little bit more selective here, as we are seeing some choppy conditions here in these indexes. But overall, this environment still remains fairly healthy, and we should see these markets continue to hang out up here near these highs, and still see some pretty good strength here in some of those relative strength sectors. So that's all we got for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.